Hey there, everybody. Um, I got this 91 Ford LTD Crown Victoria Country Squire. They made these like 78, 79 to 91, and I'm pretty sure all the door latch things in the back were pretty much the same. And when I first got this car pretty recently, this was broken. It was just loose. I could tell, I've dealt with broken handles before. It was just loose. And I probably fiddled with this for probably an hour and a half before I figured out a solution to just, fixing this. Because it's nice when it works, You can get into the car without having to roll down the window and grabbing the inner handle there. So, Ford made this thing out of plastic. There's that and that. And I have deleted that and that little piece of plastic right there. My route, you can pretty much do, here, I'll just show you. So this is where the handle meets up. Right there. That's the handle. So what I did was, there's a rod here. And, if your inner plastic holder right there is broken, you have to buy a new one of those, maybe rob one off of, maybe a lock you don't care about. But for me, my mechanism here was broken. Whatever held it together here was just, this rod was just hanging loose. So what I did is I took the actual rod out. I ran that nut on there so it wouldn't, slide off. And I, bent the end of this threaded rod in a vise. Maybe, quarter of an inch. Not much. Like really not much. You don't want too much. Because this, has to be tight. And if you bend it too much, then the handle might be, not resting flush. It might be like that if you don't bend it correctly. So if you can bend it pretty nicely there and find the right thread, I just had these loose from like a skateboard or something, and they just happened to fit. I threw a washer up in there just because this will be moving metal on metal contact. It gives it a bit of give. This nut is also a lock nut. It has the silicone holders in there, so I'm pretty confident this won't be an issue. But yeah, I've been fiddling with this thing for probably the past hour and a half, just, First it was just getting it to open. Now it's open, I can sit in a chair and work on it, but I was crawled up in there, reaching around, but, not too terribly hard. You do have to have the glass up to access that, but I couldn't find any other help online about this. These are such, very specific vehicles. Unfortunately, not too many left, so there's not a lot of help on these things. So, I hopefully am helping someone out there who might be in a similar position where they're stuck with this door, this exterior handle is broken, or just feels broken. This right here, I'll just show you the full mechanism. That rod goes to that lever right there. That lever on the end has a little bent notch deep in there. This is just such a hard angle to reach to, but that pushes down on that flat spot. You'll see it move, and that's what activates this mechanism and the lower one. And then if those rods are broken down there, luckily mine weren't, those have a really nice aluminum thread on there to hold it in, so I wouldn't expect those to be breaking, but I got lucky with how mine broke. It was fairly easy to get into. It was just this 3 Phillips heads, and I was able to get to it. So that's pretty much it. it's pretty nice. How about that? It actually works again, which I'm pumped about. Oh, that's so sweet. This works again. You know what I mean? Like I just gained some pretty nice functionality back. That's pretty much all I got to say about this. If you need help, comment. I could probably respond to you as soon as I can. Yeah, this is my 91 LTD Crown Victoria Country Squire. Got it in a trade, just trying to fix it up, I guess. There's my Mazda, it's all torn apart right now, putting timing chain tensioners in this thing. So, there's the upper one, the lower one's on the side there. I had to crawl up from the side there to get into it. But I'm gonna save this one. I think, I think is gonna go soon. I need, some dineros again. And just the garage space. It'd be nice to have this, because this has been sitting in here since October. And it runs and drives fine. The timing chains have started to rattle on startup, so the rear timing chain tensioner was fully collapsed, so putting new tensioners in it. But yeah, I got in a trade, and I think cars like these, you kind of have a responsibility to save them at this point. I mean, 15 years ago, maybe not so much, but I mean, these are getting harder and harder to find. It has a bit of rust, but it's not through the car yet, so that can be saved, hopefully. There's a bit of, rust, but nothing on the frame. I mean, the upper rockers there look really great. It's just the back end of this thing. Fortunately, actually, my tailgate isn't rusted out terribly badly. I just used an eraser wheel to remove a sticker right there. You can probably tell what that is. Yeah, but this thing's straight. I mean, for what it is, I'm in Alaska, so it's kind of surprising for me to find a car like this in this kind of shape. The blower motor was gone, bad. It was howling, so I unplugged the fuse. But I mean, look at this interior. It's in really great shape. And by the look of the ashtray there, no one smoked in it. This thing is clean. 140,000 miles, maybe 240,000 miles. I'm not really sure. This doesn't look happy right here. I think that's some crunchy under there. But again, luckily these cars, the fenders there, are pretty easy to find, and same with the back. You can get those off the sheet metal off of a car. But these things are getting harder and harder to find. This is in a cool color too. I mean, look at this metallic blue. This was a good looking car back in the day, and now it's been 30 something years. In another 30 years, this thing's gonna be a bona fide classic. This will be whoa, look at that. And I hope this thing's around in 30 years. Cars like this are just gone. You don't see these anymore. They're just gone. I grew up in the 2000s, and I remember seeing some of these around, but they quickly disappeared when the SUVs showed up. But I love this kind of stuff. I'm probably gonna keep a hold of this one for a while. I might even, I'd like to put a new engine into it. It has some weird valve train noise right now, so I'll definitely need to investigate that. I think it might be a bent push rod or a bad lifter, hopefully not a wiped out cam lobe. But it's ticking really weird. It it idles weird, and it's a whole thing. But if I struggled with finding any information looking up this online. There's no parts, obviously. You could probably make other stock Ford parts work with this thing. Go to LMC truck. And look at dent side Fords or bullnose Fords, right? And go to the window section. They actually make reproduction parts, and I bet you they make something similar to that right there, where you could probably piece something together. You'd get the right kind of rods. You could get the right diameter rod and the right kind of plastic to make it work. But I didn't feel like doing that, so this is my fix right here. I've talked long enough, I think. If anyone's still watching, thank you for hanging out and just checking this thing out with me. If you want to see more about this car, that thing over there, please like, subscribe, and yeah, catch you later. Hope this was a help.